Hey guys, welcome back or welcome if you're new, and I'm Caitlin with another YouTube video. So today, since it is the 1st of November, I am just going to do another monthly recap video. In October, we have 35 movies to get through. So, yeah, social medias are right here, and let's just get started. Okay guys, so the first movie that I watched was Scary Godmother Halloween Spooktacular. So I watched this like forever ago when I was a kid, and like when I came onto like TV, like cable. I don't know if it still does. And I was like, I'm gonna show this to my brother. He is going to love it, and that is what I did. It's only like 45 minutes long. It's not that bad. I found it free on YouTube. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but you can find it on YouTube. But it is like really cute. Like I don't know. It's like really cute. It's fun. So basically we have these kids trick-or-treating, and then we have, I don't know the kid, I'm gonna name him Johnny. His name probably isn't Johnny, but that's just Jimmy. It's Jimmy. But basically Jimmy has to take his cousin Hannah trick-or-treating, and of course he doesn't want to take a little sister, so he like brings her into this house and basically scares the living crap out of her and like locks her in. And then what happens is Scary Godmother comes out and basically takes her to her house and basically like shows her not all monsters are scary, and they kind of have like their own little Halloween party. So it has like a vampire family, it has like a big like blob, I think, and then it has a werewolf and a skeleton. It's really funny. It's a really cool movie to watch with your kids or with like your siblings if they're younger than you. But I give that 7.5 out of 10. And what I didn't know is that they actually was based off of a book series called Spooky Godmother. So I thought that was cool. There is a second one, but I didn't get to watch it this month. So yeah. And then I watched Spooky Buddies. I just, saw another thing. Like, let's make Dana watch another Halloween movie. So this one, of course, like, it's the like buddies. Like, I think everyone knows like the buddies are like with like the dogs. There's like Spooky Buddies, Treasure Buddies, Space Buddies, like like those type of movies, which I thought were really cool. They do have a Christmas one, I think, of the buddies, so I think that was cool. But this one is basically about this town legend about like this warlock basically wants to like take over, make like take over the dimension or something like that, and he ends up like stealing the souls of these puppies, but he's not getting the last one. So it's like years after, and like the little puppy kind of teams up with the other puppies, the buddies. It's really cute. One scene where they like, I don't know, when they're in like the Halloween party, kind of reminded me of like that scene in Hocus Pocus. I don't know like what you got, like if you know what I'm talking about. But it was like, of course, really cute. It was weird seeing one of the main characters. I forgot her name. She is the blonde one, because I have seen her in like everything, and I've just recently seen her in American Horror Stories, so it's so weird like going from American Horror Stories to like Disney Channel. But I give that an 8 out of 10, and that's on Disney Plus. And then I watched Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I did a whole movie review on this. It's spoilers, but I did really like it. I was really interested in what they did. I liked the direction they want, and apparently they make a new trilogy, however you say. I can never say that right. So I think that'll be really interesting to see. But I like what they did with it. So basically it's about this couple, and they go to like a Halloween fest, and then what they don't know is they end up like winning this prize for like an escape room. Then as to how to do the escape room, the creeper attacks. There was like a lot of crap on this. I think I've seen only one person like it out of all the reviews, and it was my friend. But I do think it was a really good movie. You do have to rent it, but I think it's only like $4 or $2. Depends on where you rent it. Personally, I really liked it, so I was a 9 out of 10. And then I watched the new Hellraiser movie. I didn't do like a movie review on this, but I did enjoy it. So I have watched the like original Hellraiser, but I haven't seen the other ones. And I didn't like the original, but I did like this one. This one was really cool. Just it had more of a story to it, and there wasn't like all of this like sex stuff, which that's what like the first one had. That was really annoying. And there was like a whole bunch of hate about having like a girl play Hellraiser, but like I guess it didn't make a difference to me. But it was honestly really creepy, and I like what they did with the storyline. And if you have seen Grand Army, the girl who plays Joey, she is in it. And if you have seen 13 Reasons Why, the person who plays Justin is in it. So I just think it's a really cool movie, and I would like to see like if they're going to make more movies to this. I would love to do like a whole like ranking of all the Hellraiser movies, but there are like 11 movies counting this one, so that's like a lot. And I feel like after like the third one, it gets bad. But yeah, so I give that an 8.5 out of 10. It was a little slow like the first half, but then like it ends up picking up like towards like the middle. But yeah. And then I watched Goodnight Mommy. This is a German movie. I watched a foreign movie. They did just come out with a remake, but I have not seen it yet. But basically it's about these two boys, and their mom comes back from plastic surgery, and she becomes kind of like different and not how she used to be, so they begin to think that that's not really their mother. The stuff that they do to the mom is kind of hard to watch. They gotta skip some of the things, and like the mom really did kind of get on my nerves. Like she was really mean to them, and then it's maybe a little spoiled, but she never once like tried to prove that she is the mother. Like she never really said anything that only the mom would know, and not a like impersonator. But she like just didn't. She was like, I'm your mother. That's all. Like that's all she did. So that was really annoying. But I give that a 5 out of 10. I didn't really like it. It was just really slow. But yeah. So then I watched Monster High 13 Wishes, just on a Monster High high. Again, this is like one of my favorite Monster High movies. Since they came out with the newest Monster High, they are all on Paramount Plus right now, which I will watch the newest Monster High, just haven't gotten to it yet. I feel like I probably should watch it for Halloween, but I didn't. So I just think it's really cool. It's about like this genie and what is her name? Claudine's sister. And basically like she like gets the like genie, and she gets like 13 wishes. And then it goes like this other genie called Wisp, who's like in the shadows. And it's really interesting. It's not that long. It's probably like an hour and 10 minutes. Probably even not even that long. But I do really like it. I love the outfits that they wear like when they're in like the lamp. It's really cool, and it's such a good movie. Cleo does get on my nerves in this one. Like she's really annoying. And then I don't like, who is it, Laguna. She kind of gets on my nerves in this one. But I did really like it. So I give that a 9 out of 10. And then I watched Fall. So this is a 2022 new release. This one I'm pretty sure you have to rent. Basically it's about these two girls, Hunter and I don't know, but you know, basically like go onto like this like 60 feet tall lamppost, not like thing, and like they climb it and they end up getting stuck. It's very, if you are afraid of heights, it's nerve-wracking, and just watching the things, it is a little slow, but Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays the dad, so I thought that was really cool. But I did think it was an interesting movie. It did have a cool twist. But I feel like it'd be like good for a first watch, but I wouldn't re-watch it. But it was interesting, and I did like it. So I give that an 8 out of 10. And then I watched Halloween Town 2, Calibur's Revenge. So this one was cool. I don't know, like, did I like it more than this first one? I don't remember. But it was like really cool. So basically, Calibur is like the son of, Calibur, and we have Cal, who's like the son of Calibur, who like is trying to like take over the like mortal world and make it so like everyone's a monster, just because like we look at monsters like really bad or whatever. So like Marnie and then Agatha have to like go to Halloween Town, but then I forgot the other siblings, and the mom stays. So I do think it's really cool. And fun fact, the girl who plays Marnie and the boy who plays Cal actually are married in real life. So I really did like that. But that was an 8.5 out of 10. And then we have Twitches. Like, of course, I had to watch Twitches for Halloween. I feel like everyone has to. But it is like a really cool movie. So basically we had like these twin witches, and I think it's like the 22nd birthday. And they end up realizing like they're actually like princesses, and they rule in like this other dimension. And they have to save it before the darkness comes and gets them. So it's really interesting. It's a Disney movie, so of course, you know. But I do really like it. I have to watch it every year. I never really get to the second one. I didn't this year, but I'm trying to like at least this week finish the Halloween list that I had. But yeah, so that was a 9.5 out of 10. And then I watched Psycho. So I thought I was watching like the original version that was black and white, and then it wasn't in black and white, and I was very confused. Then I saw that I watched the 1998 remake, but I honestly liked it. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna go back and watch the black and white version, but it was kind of slow. It wasn't what I thought it would be, cause I don't like what I expected. It wasn't, but I did really enjoy it. So I was an 8.5 out of 10, and I don't know what that is. But you can watch it. And then I watched The Corpse Bride, and of course I had to watch it for Halloween. Um, it is really slow. I feel like the only parts I like are when they're in like the other world, like the underworld, or whatever. But it's like, you know, of course, with like Victor, and he ends up marrying the Corpse Bride, but then he wants to go back up to Victoria. I think that's her name. I'm gonna say it is her name. So it's really sad, and Emily's backstory is really sad. I do love her little like costume. And one of these like Halloweens I want to go is the Corpse Bride, but I give that an 8 out of 10. And I rewatched See No Evil. So this is a very low budget movie, but it is really good. I honestly really enjoyed it. So basically we have these like juvenile kids go to like a hotel and have to like clean it up. And then we basically have, I forgot his name, but he's like terrorizing it, and he goes after them one by one, and it is like really interesting what they do. And like I guess the little twist in it was cool. One of the kids, one of the guys I didn't like, he was just so rude, so obnoxious. I don't know if I really liked any of the characters, honestly, so I like didn't really care if any of them died. But yeah, so that was just such a good movie. An 8.5 out of 10. There was a scene with the dogs. I don't really go on it, but like if you have watched, you know what I'm talking about. That it's kind of, it's not like, it doesn't show it, but it is really just something to think about. And then I watched Monster High Scariest City of Frights. So of course another Monster High movie. Basically this is when they go to Paris, and Claudine has like an opportunity to like study under one of her favorite fashion person's thing. So I think that's really cool. I think this one is only 45 minutes, but then there's like an extra 20 minutes, which I don't know what kind of, I think Paramount Plus has this one where like it shows like a short of how they got home, but I don't know if anyone else has, but I do think it's really cool. I love like the fashion in it, and I love like the new character that we meet. So that was an 8.5 out of 10. And I watched Halloween Ends. So this movie I did, just the last video was a whole review on it, and think about it and listen to what people saying. I do understand a lot of people didn't like it. I feel like, so with what they did, they should have like Michael Myers wasn't really in it, and then Laurie Strode wasn't really in it. She was, but like they made it seem like this whole big battle between them, and there wasn't really anything. I wish like they could have cut like an extra 10 or 15 minutes of Halloween Kills and then finished up the Laurie Strode and Michael Myers like whole thing, and then they could have brought in the like what they did with this one, and they could have like made that a new series or something. I don't know, but I do like seeing how Laurie is happy and how she finally gets her happy ending. I do think it was kind of cool how like Michael kind of was like weak, and then after each kill he kind of like, you know, like, what is the word, gets stronger, you know. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I feel like that might be too high for this movie. I don't know. I feel like 8 is too high, but I don't know what else to give it at this moment. So yeah, but you can watch that on Peacock. And then I watched The Invitation, 2022 movie. So I'm gonna go to it. Basically, I wasn't really looking forward to watching this movie. I just found a way to watch it. Like I wasn't gonna go to the movies or like rent it or anything, because of the fact that the trailer has showed everything. I'm not kidding, like it showed like the entire movie, like literally the end of the movie. And I saw this like person on Letterboxd say it's like watching the trailer in slow motion, and I've never agreed so much more. So I feel like if you didn't watch the trailer, you would have liked this a lot more. I feel like the concept was kind of cool. It did feel more like a love story than like a thriller. But I mean, Thomas Dorothy, I think that's his name, who played the vampire, so hot. Like, no offense to like the female actor, but like I 100% would marry him if I had to become a vampire and like marry a rich vampire, like a hot rich vampire, and rule the world or whatever. Like what they do, like rule the vampire world. Like who doesn't want that? Like he is so hot. But yeah, so I do think, but I think it was an interesting thing. I feel like it would have just, it wasn't really horror. It just was kind of like more like a love story. You know, like making it into like, oh crap, this is horror. We have to like add something. But basically, it's about this girl who just recently lost her mother, and then she goes on to like an ancestry website and basically finds she has a cousin that lived in England, and then she's invited to a wedding. So I think it was a cool concept. It's just the way they made it was wrong, and the way that the trailer showed everything was wrong. So if you have not seen the trailer and haven't seen this yet, I do think you should go watch it if you haven't seen the trailer. But I give that 7.5 out of 10. And then I watched Grim Cuddy. So this one is on Hulu, and this one is very... So does anyone remember like the whole like, couple years ago, the whole Momo thing that was going around? This is basically what the whole Grim Cuddy is, just it's a different name and a different look. I do think it was really cool, like, what they did. It was kind of slow until the end, but I just feel like they showed him way too much, like, really up close way too much, and then it just kind of got funny. And then, like, the parents kind of, like, made it worse when they're, like, taking away, like, all the electronics. But I do think that it was a cool concept and everything. But I give that a 6 out of 10. And then I rewatched Terrifier, and that's on Tubi. It's about the clown. He's awesome. It's very disturbing, so if you don't like disturbing or gory movies, do not watch this. But I give that a 9 out of 10. And then I watched Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So this movie, I understand the whole thing of like making fun of Gen Z and making the characters annoying, but I hated the characters so much. Like I didn't really care if they died. I didn't care what happened to them. I was just so annoyed with them. But I do think it was a cool concept how they were playing this game, Bodies, 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 and it actually turned out to be an actual killer. So it's kind of like a murder mystery. So I did think it was a cool concept. Maybe I should rewatch it, like going in with like, I'm probably not going to like these characters. But yeah, so I give that a 6 out of 10. And then I watched The Slumber Party Massacre. This movie was honestly way better than I expected it to be. So it is on Tubi, and basically it's about like this like kids and basically have like a slumber party, and there's like this killer who like escaped the insane asylum or something, and he comes after them and tries to kill them. It's really good. There was like some sex in it, like of course, but it wasn't like that bad. I give that an 8 out of 10. There is a 2021 remake that I haven't found yet, but I do want to try and watch it. But I do think this movie was really cool. Apparently there's a second one, which I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not. But yeah. And then I watched Child's Play with Chucky. I just had to rewatch it. It was so cool rewatching Child's Play after I've been watching the Chucky TV show. So it was just really cool, like seeing like the little, like being like, oh, that's where they got this scene from, you know. But I just really thought it was cool. Andy is so cute and such a little cute kid. I love him. And this movie was just so cool. So I give that a 9 out of 10. And then I watched Child's Play 2. So I did like this one more. I like how we got introduced to Kyle. And just like the relationship between them. I did really feel bad for like Andy doing it, just because he ends up having to go into a foster home and like no one believes him about what happened. So he kind of has to like deal with his trauma alone. And the only person that kind of understood what was going on is gone. So it was just cool. In the beginning when they're like remaking like Chucky, like the doll, I thought that was cool. But I give that a 9 out of 10, but I did like that one more than the first one. And then I finally got to watch Terrifier 2. I have been trying like every day since it came out to watch it. I wasn't able to watch it in theaters, but I was able to watch it online. And I just want to say, did not disappoint. It was so good. I like how they were able to add a story to it, but then still keep everything else. Like the clown is still by far the most funniest clown. The goriness is horrible. Some parts were a little slow, but at the same time it was like 2 hours, so you kind of like expect that. Costume Sienna wears is so pretty, and I would love them. I hear they're making a third one, but I'd love to get like more backstory on like the clown and everything. But it's such a good movie, and near the end there's an end credit scene. So I didn't know that, but so I just thought I'd like tell everyone. But I did think that it was such a good movie. And the part in the Halloween store where he's like trying on the sunglasses, and he's so funny. And if you have seen it, if you have seen the bedroom scene, apparently they have gotten the inspiration from Jack the, was it Jack the Ripper? Yeah, Jack the Ripper. So apparently that actually happened. So yeah, but I give that an eye out to him. And then I watched Pearl. So I still have not come to terms if I like Pearl or X better. I'm positive I like X better just because there's more going on. But I really liked the whole backstory on Pearl, and I wanted to kind of go with her, but like it was like a last minute thing, so I wasn't able to get it. But I love her, and she's like such a strong character, and you can like kind of relate to her, other than like she's a killer. But it's like she would do anything to make her dreams come true, and like I feel so bad for her home life. But it is a really good movie, and I'm like super excited to see what they're going to do with the sequel to X Maxine. So Mia Goth is honestly awesome. I've only watched X because I heard Jenna Ortega was in it. But like now watching it, I love Mia Goth. She's so good. It was a good movie. But I give that an 8 out of 10. And then I watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So this movie is on Netflix. It's really good. If you've read the books, Scary Stories, it's kind of like that, but it's like bringing the stories to life. Everyone like talks about how bad it is, but I like enjoyed it. It was a rewatch, and like watching all like the stories come to life, and it was so cool. I feel like the whole storyline was cool. If you have seen Euphoria, the character who plays Ethan played in it. I give that an 8.5 out of 10. And then we watched Girl vs. Monster. I love this movie. I love Olivia Holt. It's such a good movie. And it's like, of course, like I want to watch it like every Halloween. It's on Disney Plus. It's basically about Skylar, and she's like never been afraid in her life. Then like when she's 15, which I thought she was older, all the monsters come out. She has to hunt them. I just thought it was really cool. So something that I have realized is that when I am watching these movies, when I was younger, I'm like, oh my gosh, these kids are so old. I can't wait until I'm at that age. But now that I'm either at that age or like older than them, they seem a lot younger. So I just think it's very interesting and everything how they did that. But that was a 9 out of 10. And then I watched Casper. So I just want to say that this movie was very slow and boring. I do not remember it being that boring. But Casper is like such a cute ghost, and it is like a really good movie. And everything, was slow, but I just thought it was interesting. I give that a 7 out of 10. And I watched My Babysitter as a Vampire. So I don't know last time I watched this, but I rewatched it, and I just want to say it's so good. Again, they're like 15 years old, and I thought they were so much older, and they're not. So I thought that was just cool. Not cool, but like weird or whatever. But it's just basically about like them being vampires and have to stop the vampires. But I just want to say, Jesse as a vampire is so hot. Like, oh my lord. Like, he is so hot. But that's an 8.5 out of 10. And then I watched The Final Girls. This movie, honestly, was so good. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was not mad at it. It was so good. And the concept of it was really cool. But it has Tia Fleming from American Horror Story. And it has Nina Dobrev from The Vampire Diaries. Basically, it's about this girl, and her mother died, I think like 3 years ago, and then basically doing like a screening of like the movie that her mother started 20 years ago, Camp Bloodwing. So it kind of reminds me of Friday the 13th, like the movie they did, and they end up like going into the movie. So I just want to say that it's really, really cool and interesting what they do. It is kind of sad and everything, but it was so cool. A lot of it reminded me of like Friday the 13th. But at the same time, a lot of it didn't. And I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if they actually make Camp Bloodwing a movie. Like, that'd be cool. But I give that an 8 out of 10. And then I watched Halloween High. So I just want to say that this is my favorite out of the entire series. It is just so good. Like, it was just really interesting how they made it like, ow, like leading up to Halloween instead of just on Halloween night, and how they had like kids from Halloween Town come to like the high school, and then we have Cody, and that is Dandy from American Horror Story. So that was cool seeing him. I just thought it was really cool and interesting, and I loved it. So it was really, I was like, crap, they're gonna like have an love interest or Molly and have him turn out to be evil. I don't want to spoil it, but that's how I felt. But I loved it. So I was a 9.5 out of 10. And that's on Disney Plus. And then I watched Ticket to Paradise. So this has Julia Roberts and Billy Lord in it. And it's basically about how their daughter, Lily, is graduating from law school, and she's going, I don't know where, but like a tropical island for like summer break or whatever. So she like gets a job. And she ends up getting married, or like it's about to get married. And her two parents just got divorced like 5 months after they got married, and it was like 20 years later. Like hate each other, but they like team up to try and stop the wedding from making like the same mistake they did. And it's so funny and it's so cute, and it was just really good. And it took us like 3 days to watch it because I was watching it with my mom, and she was like always tired, you know. So I just thought it was cool. So that was an 8 out of 10. Then I watched Dark Shadows. So again, this one's like really boring and slow until like the last 20 minutes. I wasn't bored, but it still is a good movie. It has a lot of familiar faces in it, like Chloe. I don't know her name. Her name starts with Chloe. And then we have Helena, we have Johnny Depp. I'm so bad with names. I just thought it was really cool they did of like him as a vampire and everything. So I'm a 7 out of 10. And then I watched Return to Halloween Town. So this one is the last one of the Halloween Town franchise. What I don't like is a recasted Marnie. And this is just, they went in line so it's because of schedule and conflicts, but like the actor who played her, I think her name was Kimberly, something like that, or that was her last name, she just came out and said that she fixed her like schedule and stuff and made it so she would be able to look for that movie, and they just didn't want her. But I do like Sarah Paxton. I think she's the one who plays it. She played Naoko Marine. I do think she did a good job. It just feels like unfair that the person who played Marnie kind of got cut from it for like no reason at all. But I do think it was cool. It's very different from the rest because like her and I'm gonna say Dustin go to like college in Halloween Town. It's like all this stuff going around. I do wish Aggie was in it more just because I like her. But I do think it was like a really cool movie. Sophie is like not in it at all. She gets less and less throughout the movies. But yeah, so she's like not in it. That's an 8.5 out of 10. And then I watched The Good Nurse. So this movie is a true crime that is on Netflix. And I just want to say that if you like true crime, you will like this. It is slow, but so it's about this nurse, and he's a guy. And basically, he went to 9 different hospitals in 16 years. It has killed so many people. And the thing is, hospitals knew something was going on, but they didn't try and do anything to stop it because they didn't want to get sued, which ticked me off because he was killing people in the hospital. Like, you go to the hospital to get saved, not to have a nurse kill you, and like the hospitals did nothing. And if I know like the hospitals never got in trouble, like you trust them with your kid's life. So like then like they end up dying, and then to suspicious circumstances. They basically did everything they could to hide it. They wouldn't even like try and help the detectives, which really ticked me off. So like I just want to say that was horrible, and I want to say that the hospitals should take half the blame of basically killing them, because one, even though they weren't killing them, they weren't doing anything to stop it. They were just passing it on to another hospital to let him do it again, which really infuriates me. And it's true, so it just makes it even more disgusting and disturbing that it was a freaking nurse. But yeah, so that's 7.5 out of 10. I just want to say that the amount of people he has killed is horrible. I'm not going to say how many, but it says at the end, and I just want to say, like, the hospital should take responsibility for it, or should get in trouble for it because they just let it happen. But then I watched The Addams Family. That was like yesterday, like on Halloween. And it was cool and interesting. I don't know, remember like a lot of it. I thought I did. But I remember the family values a lot more than The Addams Family. But it was really interesting. It was cute. And like, I want to say like it has, I want to say a family movie, but it's not really a family movie. I feel like it's a movie for like your teenagers and stuff. But like, I don't remember it being as inappropriate as it was. But I give that an 8 out of 10. And that's on Paramount Plus. And the last movie that I have watched was Trick or Treat. This movie, I'm never gonna kid it, is so good. I just recently watched it like the 1st of September. And last night, when we got home and finished The Good Nurse, I had 20 minutes left of the Addams Family. I finished that, and then I started this. And then I ended up like pausing it because it was like 12 o'clock at night and I was so tired. So I didn't finish it this morning, but I want to put it on my October recap. But it's such a good movie. I love it. They're making a second one, so I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with that. I also do recommend it if you have seen it. There's this community tab, and it's like under it there is like a video watching like 35 facts you didn't know about Trick or Treat, which makes it so much better. But it's such a good movie. It's just, I love all the different stories I have with it, and I definitely recommend you watch it. It's an anthology movie, so like I didn't know what anthology is, so when I first watched it like multiple years ago, I got to like not even halfway through and I was like, this is stupid, I'm so confused. But like then I rewatched it knowing what anthology is and knowing like what was going on and everything. And I just thought it was so cool like watching like at the end how all the stories connect and just everything. It was just such a good movie. So I get that a 9.5 out of 10. But I hope you guys enjoy my video. Guys, put in the comments if you've watched any of these movies on Halloween or what your go-to Halloween movies to watch are. And I hope you guys had a wonderful and safe Halloween. And also put in the comments what you dressed up as. I went as a bat, just for my brother. Wore a black shirt, black jeans, and then wore little wings. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my YouTube video, and I will see you guys next week.